Right, hi everyone, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV. Don't ask why, I'm down London. You've already seen that why. So you've seen expressions, very funny guy, and now we're obviously going to get the lads from We Are Tottenham TV. You would have seen them last year. We've been on each other's channel last season as well. Right, so let's talk about this behind with. Absolutely, it's massive, still being currently developed. But is it right that Spurs should play at Wembley first and come back to this?
I mean, we don't really have a choice because if you look at it now, it's nowhere near ready. Nowhere near. This has been going a year only. It's very ambitious to try and get this done in a year, you know?
Huge, like.
Yeah, but if we can get there playing there this season, that's all I care about. Like, just get me out of Wembley. I'll do one more game at Wembley, except for a cup final, obviously. But yeah, just get me there for that Liverpool game. That's all I care about.
Okay. Right. Okay. So transfers, and I know that's a touchy subject for both clubs at the moment. Is it because of the stadium?
Well, that's what the main argument is. I mean, Daniel Levy was very explicit that the new stadium's not going to affect our transfer budget, but clearly that's not the case because, I mean, we're now the only club in the history of all transfer windows to not sign a player. It's ridiculous, and we clearly need reinforcements. I'm not asking for a whole squad overhaul, but a couple of additions in key areas, centre midfield, and probably a winger as well. Just a couple of additions would have really pushed us on this season, maybe could have pushed us closer to Man City, but as it stands, we're now looking for another struggle for top four. And it's a real disappointment because we've hit top four 3 times in a row, which is great.
Can I pause you?
Go on.
A struggle to finish in the top 4.
I know, so I sound a bit privileged, sorry Lee. But it's just, we've now finished third, second, third, which is great. I'm a great achievement by Pochettino, but when do we push on? You know, after 3 seasons of hitting that consistent top 4, it's time we take the extra step, maybe get a proper title challenge, get really close to City and win a trophy. And we really need those couple of additions, I think, to get a fully fledged squad, because our first 11 is one of the best in the league, but everyone knows our reinforcements aren't really up to scratch. That's what we needed to improve, and the fact we have signed no one is kind of unforgivable.
Are you alright?
I'm fuming, mate.
What's more important, keeping the squad you've got or adding to it?
I actually think keeping the squad that we have. Yeah, keeping the squad together was, I think, much more important. You've kept Toby Alderweireld, Danny Rose and Moussa Dembele, who everyone thought was off this summer. Who knows about Toby? His contract ends soon, so I think he could be off next summer. But, you know, keeping this squad together is actually a massive plus, but it is unforgivable for not to get players in, man. We were led to believe at the end of last season, Daniel Levy and Pochettino had these kind of showdown talks, and we were led to believe that Daniel Levy was going to back him this summer. Pochettino came out and was like, yeah, we need to get our transfers in before the World Cup, we need to get it in early. Usually we leave it to the last minute and they don't have time to do the pre-season or whatever. And look, we haven't signed anyone, and Daniel Levy is...
Also, I don't think it was a coincidence that the season ticket renewals were released straight after all this talk was about the war chest. Spurs were going to get 150 million. Pochettino just signed a new contract. He was going to get all this money, and he was going to, you know, Spurs were going to make a statement signing this summer, which is all great and whatever. And then the season ticket renewals come, and then, you know, everyone uses their season tickets, obviously for the new stadium as well, and nothing happens. Nothing.
Our season tickets went up by 20%.
Some of our season tickets went up by like 100%.
Well,
some of them
100%.
did.
Today, yeah, our club motto is to dare is to do, and we're not daring to do. We're not doing it at all. Daniel Levy needs to back his manager in a transfer window. He never has done. He's always broken even in the transfer window, and it's time to take that next step. If we're going to go to that next level and compete for the league again, we need to, you know, go out in the transfer window and spend an odd 50, 100 million.
You sound like a two-man. So, before we get on to the game, what's going to happen with your season? Are you going to finish ahead of the Arsenal? Because Arsenal can only... I was saying this expressions.
No.
Is that Arsenal can only get better?
Let's not get things confused. We're going to finish above Arsenal this season again. Don't you worry about that. Arsenal have a big gap to reach between us and Arsenal. We finished 15 points ahead of them last season. They got a few key additions. I think Torreira is a good signing, but I still think their defence is very suspect. It's going to let them down. They've got a pretty fearsome strike force. Maybe they'll get a bit better. They're going to have to get a lot better if they're going to finish above us. And I think we're still consistent. We've still got a very good team, despite no signings. I think we've shown over the last 3 years how consistent we are, how good a team we are. We're very solid. We will hardly ever break down. So I'm pretty confident we'll still finish above Arsenal. And no doubt about that.
I think it'll be a lot more better team this year. So The game then, you're coming all the way back up.
Oh yeah.
Why we're down here? Why we're down here?
Again?
So coming all the way back up to St James Park, you can see these guys on fan cams and vice versa. So what's going to happen on Saturday? We've seen obviously Shelby last year ruin the game. You've got the win.
Yeah.
Are you expecting us to sit deep and try and nick something? That's what I'm expecting.
Well, yeah, a Rafa team does that, don't they?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it to be a hard game. First game of the season is always going to be a hard game, no matter who you play, to be honest. But, you know, both of us have had bad summers. Everyone thought after the World Cup, you know, the Europa of the World Cup, it was amazing, and it's just been downhill since that Trippier goal, hasn't it?
Well, we're protesting before the game.
Yeah, I know.
The Newcastle fans are outside Sports Direct.
We haven't gone that far yet.
Do you think that's a positive for you, though? That might turn negative in the stadium.
I guess maybe if you concede early and maybe, you know, that whole atmosphere kind of festers, that negativity. I could, you know, that happens at football clubs when there's protests and stuff. Like you saw that at West Ham, you've seen it at Arsenal. So I guess in one way it's positive, but then again, it can make the team rally as well. It can kind of bring, sometimes when the fans are kind of all together as one against something, kind of bring them all together, and the team can kind of sometimes pick up on that. You pick up the odd result. It's going to be a tough game. Newcastle, you know, they never make it easy. Even at the lane at Wembley last season, we only scraped it 1-0. Newcastle should have got something out of that game, and we only kind of dominated St James's Park after Shelby got sent off. So I'm expecting a tough game. Maybe I'm hoping we'll scrape it. I think we will probably just have the quality, but I'm worried about our World Cup players coming back.
I think you'll nick it then.
I think we'll nick it just about. I think we'll win by 1 goal, maybe 2-1.
Ben?
You know, I'm not sure what kind of lineup we're going to play, because we had 9 players in the semi-final and they all just came back this week.
Yeah.
So who knows? Like Eric Dyer, he has no excuse not to play because he hardly played in the World Cup. But I think Hugo will play, and I think Harry Kane will play, and I think Vertonghen will play. But apart from that, it's going to be kind of our new players. Well, new I say, it's come in from last season. You got Lucas, I think maybe even Nkudu might play. But that's still pace for you to worry about, so I think we're going to nick it. I think it's going to be 1-0.
I hope he's wrong, of course.
Yeah.
You can see these lads, as I say, We Are Tottenham TV. There'll be a link in the description. They'll be up on the weekend, so if you see them around the ground, grab them. Not literally. And we'll get some fan cams from both sets of sides. Sorry. See you later. Bye-bye.